I ended up in the hospital with an L4, L5 disc herniation that sent lightning pain down my back and leg. At that moment, I thought it was all over. No more working out, no more martial arts. How's that going to affect playing with my kids? What about going to work? I practice as a chiropractor. I prevent people from getting surgery, and I was in bad shape. But the reality is that was approximately 2 years ago. I slowly worked my way back, and I didn't just guess about it. I followed a very specific, a very stage-based plan that I'm going to share with you. So right now you might be doing all the right things like resting, you're avoiding the gym, you're obsessing over the MRI, you're even considering surgery, but you're still stuck. Not because you're weak, but because nobody gave you a plan. And you've heard it, planning to fail is failure to plan. So what most people don't realize, it's not the disc injury that's keeping you sidelined. It's the fear, it's the confusion, and the guesswork. What do I do next? In this video, I'm going to walk you through a very clear, a very stage-by-stage path to safely return to lifting, running, and even combat sports. Yes, you're going to get some flare-ups, but I'm going to show you some protocols, some nerve symptom rules, and progress checkpoints so you know exactly when to push, when to pause, or when to pivot. And you can start it today, right now, from home, no equipment needed. Hey, I'm Dr. Gregory Kramer. I have over 33 years of clinical experience. I've helped thousands of people overcome back pain, sciatica, disc bulges, herniations, neuropathy, knee problems, the host of other degenerative conditionings. I use advanced corrective methods, spinal decompression, and targeted exercise. Now, before we continue, you know what to do. Help me out. Hit the subscribe button if you want to discover ways to eliminate pain, stabilize your spine, avoid surgery so you can live stronger longer. Before we jump to the details, let's start with a basic foundation, the plan that helps you rebuild confidently. All right, the safe return plan. There's 4 stages for a disc recovery. That's 4. So having a disc herniation with leg pain does not mean your life is over. It doesn't mean you'll never lift again or that you need surgery to get better. Your body is built to heal, and with the right plan, it absolutely can. In fact, 97% of you will be able to do that. Now, some are going to need surgery, and some might need shots in terms of like epidurals, but most of you can prevent it. Not all, but most. Because you know what? I've done it myself, and I've helped thousands of patients over the last 30 years do the same. The key is knowing what to do, when to do it, and to give it time. I tell patients, expect a miracle, but you got to put in the work and you got to give it time. It takes time to heal. Now, it's always longer than what you want, but it takes time, okay? So again, we want to help you through the recovery stage. We want to speed up the healing process. We want to avoid flare-ups, and we want to rebuild confidence step by step. Now let's go through the 4 stages and make up your safe return plan. So here's the first stage. Stage 1, the acute phase, calm and protect. In this stage, your goal is to reduce irritation to that disc and protect the nerve. The focus is not getting stronger, it's getting stable. Stable means you can move, you can sit, you can sleep without pain. So again, if sitting, bending, sleeping, standing increases your leg pain, your first job is find a position that eliminates the pain, all right? That could mean lying on your stomach with a pillow under your hips, perhaps leaning back. I got videos that talk about that. Or it could be the opposite. It could be that you might need to lie face down over a ball. That's what I did. Everybody's a little bit different. So for me, I've had to lie face down over a ball approximately a week. In fact, I kept that ball by my side all the time. And when I had to get knocked unconscious for an MRI, when I went to the hospital, there were so many car accidents, I had to wait. So they kept me there overnight, and I was paranoid that they at the hospital did not have another fit ball. Can you imagine going to these modern hospitals? And I'm like, what happened if my fit ball pops? So I had my wife go to the local, store. It could have been Costco, it could have been Myers. So I had 2 balls, 2 large fit balls in my hospital room in case one broke. That's how, because that's the only thing that gave me relief. All right. So I digressed a little bit. So again, you got to find the position that's comfortable, and you want to avoid just doing nothing. Avoid static rest. Your body needs gentle movement to get nutrients into the disc and waste products out. So bottom line, we need to move, but gently, all right? So you want to start with short, pain-free walks. Now here's where people kind of fail. You need to walk on a regular basis. You need to find the time. And the people that have the slowest recovery, once they get, improvement, they are not getting their walks in every day. So if that's you out there, you know who you are. You need to get every bit a half-hour walk every day. Not at the beginning. At the beginning might be a minute or two, 3 times a day. So our goal is gentle exercise, short pain-free walks, controlled breathing. Find movements that ease your pain. Generally, it could be flexion, moving forward, or extension. I showed you on a video or two ago about wall slides where you might need to shift your rib cage towards the wall if you got leg pain. You're gonna look for ways to get comfortable. So I have plenty of videos on that, so go look up on the archive. So again, the goal in this phase is we want to less pain, we want more tolerance, want better control. Once you can move without nerve pain shooting down your leg, you're ready for the next phase. Phase 2. This is the subacute phase. We got to get some control of your body. Now here, your pain should be decreasing. That means if you got pain going down your foot, we should see the pain coming up. That's what we call centralizing. So the pain should be coming up higher. Instead of going to your foot, it goes to your knee. Then as the disc and nerve start to heal, you should see the pain go to your thigh. As it heals more, it goes to your butt. If it heals more, it goes to your back. And the size of the pain can go from a pancake to a small quarter. So as that starts to improve, that means that disc is healing, okay? So we want to teach your body how to move again without triggering that nerve. This is where you're introducing the gentle core engagements, glute activation, and general mobility work. So we're talking about the big 3, the McGill big 3, okay? So that's tightening your stomach, squeezing your glutes, getting your hips to move. Those are general things. Bridges, bird dogs, cat camel, front and side plank, curl ups, pelvic tilts. There's a variety of things that you can do. You want to avoid flexion or twisting, and you want to still limit prolonged sitting for most of you, all right? A simple rule: if movement feels controlled and doesn't cause symptoms, you're on the right track. So you have to feel like it's the right motion for you. Now, it's not intense. Consistency beats intensity. So this is not a workout. We want gentle motion. So we want a couple, maybe 3 short movement and rebuild control sessions a day. That's really what you want. You want a low effort. We're not looking for anything hard. So I tell people breakfast, lunch, dinner. However, if you're working from home and if you're in still some pretty significant pain and it gives you relief, for some people doing something every hour helps them. So if that's the case, do it. But generally, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or a little bit every hour. Again, we want to trust movement, rebuild control without a flare-up. All right, phase 3, we want to rebuild here. We want to gain some strength and get some tolerance. We got to get that disc to tolerate. So remember, and this is another area where people kind of get wrong. So if I show the founder and I have you bend forward and your arms are out like this, you're okay. But as soon as you bring them up, they hurt. Well, don't bring them up. Or what if you can only bend forward a few degrees instead of going way over? So modify it, find a way. Dr. Kramer, when you show me that, it hurts. Well, don't do that. Show me what you can do that doesn't hurt. Oh, that's a good concept. So you can modify all these things, all right? So we start to progress loading. We slowly reduce resistance to teach your tissues to handle stress. So in my case, I probably took a week off the gym. I gradually started walking. You could do push-ups. Generally, if you're strong enough, you can do chin-ups. That doesn't compress your spine for a low back injury. However, when I went back to the gym, I certainly wasn't loading 45-pound plates to train on an upper body machine, all right? So I didn't want to lift a 45-pound plate with an acute disc herniation. So if you go back to the gym, you're going to use a pin loaded, all right? And very simple, you're going to do things that don't compress your spine. Again, I got videos on this, but use your head. Don't be lifting weights. Don't be swinging a golf club, hard. Nothing should be hard at this phase, all right? So again, what we're trying to do is build up durability. We're trying to get the body to move a little better so the disc and surrounding muscles can tolerate loads without relapsing. Slow down your repetition. Focus on bracing and keeping your stomach tight. and gradually build up, with some of the exercises. So I recommend body weight first. So can you even do a body weight squat? Okay, if you were doing exercise, okay, once you can handle a body weight squat, maybe you can do a walking lunge. So if your knees are good, walking lunge is easier on a disc than a body weight squat. So you got to be able to handle that first, all right? Be very cautious, and I would not be loading the spine, squats, deadlifts, and also be careful with leg presses. Even though it's not a direct load, you're putting some compressive force on the spine. So I'd be very cautious with that. So let's get the walking in, let's get bike riding in, let's get walking lunges if you're strong enough, or partial lunges. Then we can start to add in a little fuller range of motion, partial range leg press, maybe leg extensions. When you do back exercises, that you do rowing, you could row in a machine where you don't have to lift a plate. So again, there's a host of things you can do. Just be cautious, all right? Again, take it slow. Now we're talking about returning to sport. Phase 4, we want you to be resilient and confident. Now, everyone's timeline is different. But for me, I didn't start doing light sparring until 3 months after my injury. Every bit. So there's some research out there that shows about 3 months, the ligaments are about 80%. Now remember, every time you have a flare-up, that timeline starts over again, all right? And so be very cautious. So it takes time to heal. So you got to progress slowly. Sometimes it takes every bit a year for ligaments to heal. Sometimes 2 years, all right? Every bit 2 years. So it's been a couple years for me, and very simply, and I've had some flare-ups as I introduce things too often. I got to kind of start back again, not from square one, but I have to find out what did I do. I have to be mindful on my progressions. So give it time and be progressive. So bottom line is we're looking at pain no longer controls your decisions. You're able to move freely. You can handle a more moderate load. We want to restore to full capacity, all right? So you gradually want to reintroduce your sport gradually. So if you're lifting, start with maybe 40, 50% of what you did before. Very easy, okay? Remember, there are certain positions that are really damaging the spine, like full flexion. And we've talked about neutral spine, where you lift, where your spine doesn't bend. You lock your spine in place and hinge at the hip. We've talked about that. Swinging a golf ball hard, I would not be doing that for a while. Work on your short game, your putting. I would introduce small range of motions, like if you play tennis. So you got to be cautious, all right? Bottom line for runners or combat athletes, you want to start with very short controlled sessions. And bottom line, it's not just what you feel then, but how are you 1 to 2 days later. So it's not just how you feel while you're doing it. Remember, a slight tear today takes time for that swelling to build up before you feel it. So you want to be cautious what you do over the next 24 to 48 hours. Because if you irritate something today on Thursday, and you introduce another sport, another challenging exercise for that disc on Friday, you're going to be in trouble. So give it a couple days, all right? And also understand that you're going to have some flare-ups, and occasional tightness and mild discomfort doesn't mean you're regressing. It's part of your nervous system kind of learning what's safe. So be consistent with mobility, with recovery, with load management, and those are what keep you resilient long term. The goal here is confidence, performance, and freedom to train without fear. Flare-up protocol. What do you do when the pain spikes? Because you're going to have a flare-up. Everybody does. I've had it. So if you think that you're going to go through a serious injury and not have a flare-up, you're kidding yourself. So it's going to happen. It's not the end of the world. Don't get overly excited when you're doing great. Don't get overly depressed when you have a flare-up. You're generally going to get through this, all right? So no matter how careful you are, flare-ups happen, all right? So it doesn't mean you're going back to square one generally. It means your body hit a tolerance, and now it needs a reset. So this is what you got to do. Step 1, stop the panic. Okay, fear makes muscles tighten and the pain's worse. Breathe deep. 60 seconds in, and remind yourself this is temporary. Your body needs to calm down. Number 2, find the positions that give you relief. So it's either usually leaning back or bending forward, sitting down or going for a walk, okay? Figure out what gives you relief. Stay there a few minutes, then gently move through the positions that eases the pain. Again, short walks are always recommended. Okay. Number 2, reset your activity. For the next day or two, cut your training volume in half, or even don't train for a day or two. Just go for a walk or maybe a swim. Avoid complete rest, but avoid pushing through the sharp pain. Yes, you might have to take some extra time out. Now, it's not a setback, it's feedback. Again, if you handle them calmly, make small adjustments, they usually pass in a day or two and you come back stronger. Bottom line, nerve symptom rules: when to push, when to pause, and when to get help. Nerve symptoms can be confusing. Sometimes you feel numbness, tingling, or weakness after the pain phase. It can make you wonder, are you doing more damage? The truth is, not every nerve sensation means danger. You just need to know what's worth watching and what's not. So here's how I would approach it. If symptoms spread further down your leg or increase after activity and stay worse for more than 2 hours or 3 hours, it's a time to pause, back off the intensity, and slow down the range of motion. Now, if you notice weakness, loss of coordination, change in bowel or bladder control, stop training, go to the ER immediately. Those are huge red flags, but that's pretty rare, all right? Most of the time, mild tingling or tightness just means your nerve is sensitive. It's not damaged. Your job is to move within comfort, listen to your body's feedback, and let your strength come back gradually. So, if you've really got pressure on a nerve, you don't feel anything. So as that nerve starts to heal and come alive, you start to feel things, even if it's unpleasant, all right? So be careful, make sure you distinguish the two. That's not the same as losing bowel or bladder. If that's the case, go to ER immediately. Progress checkpoints by different stages. One of the biggest frustrations at a disc injury is, are you actually improving? Pain comes and goes and makes you second guess every move. But here are clear signs when you're healing and ready to progress. So checkpoint number 1. Pain is becoming more local. Your symptoms used to travel down your leg, but now they're closer to your back. That's progress. The nerve is calming down. Checkpoint 2. Daily life is easier. I know you have a bad day here and there, but if you're sitting better, walking better, sleeping with less discomfort, you're on the way. Be excited for the small wins, like putting on your shoes or standing longer. Bottom line, the body is designed to heal, all right? Now, the recovery time is shorter. That's checkpoint 3. Flare-ups still happen, but they fade faster, okay? In other words, a day instead of a week. That means the tissues are adapting and healing. Checkpoint 4, you can start adding some load. When you can perform basic lifts or body weight movements without pain, guess what? You're ready for the next stage. Don't rush it. Progress isn't about zero, it's about increased tolerance and confidence. Track those checkpoints, be consistent, and your body will keep rewarding you. Even though you have a disc injury, don't lose hope. If I can heal my disc injury, as an older guy, I'm 61, and I injured, I think I was around 59. Thousands of my patients have healed theirs, all without surgery, or let's just say 97% of them without surgery, then more than likely you can also. You'll just need the right guidance, the system to follow, which I've outlined for you in this video. Remember, your diagnosis doesn't define your future. Your consistency and mindset do. Stay patient, stay moving, and keep building strength safely. Now, if you found value in this video, you know what to do. Like it and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Leave a comment or question below, and I'll do my best to answer them because I'd love to help you out. Also, I highly recommend, if you're having trouble with your disc, find a certified chiropractic biophysics doctor. You can look it up under idealspine.com and find a idealspine.com doctor certified in chiropractic biophysics that does spinal decompression. Those two things, correcting your alignment and spinal decompression, plus all the home care I've showed you, are the keys what help me and helps the majority of my patients. Now remember, subscribe if you want to discover proven ways to eliminate pain, stabilize your spine, avoid surgery so you can live stronger longer. The next video you should watch is 4 gym exercises that make your disc herniation worse. You need to watch that. Don't make your herniation worse. Go right now to this video.